Hello mathematical literacy learners, welcome to question 3 of June mid-year paper from the Eastern Cape in 2022. We are going to get started. So here we are looking at the income from accommodation from 2018 to 2020 is shown below. It excludes restaurant sales, bar sales and other income. Study the information in the table and answer the questions that follow. Right, so we're going to take a look at income from accommodation at current prices. So this is only from accommodation. And in January 2018, accommodation collected 2,166.9 million rands. So let's take a look at that amount properly. Right, so if we are ever to need to know these numbers in full, what you will do is you say 2,166.9 multiplied by 1 million. Notice how you just write this word in numbers, you multiply and you'll get the real number. So in this case, let's try it. If I want to write this number in words, if they say write it in words, what I do is I first write it like this, copy it all down, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then I separate it into categories of 3. Then I know this is a million, that's 6 numbers, so this is 6,066,166,000,000 and 2 billion. So if I were to write this number, I would be like 2,166,900,000. Okay, let's move on. In 2019, the money that was made decreased, and in 2020, it increased in January, and then in February, 2,161.1 million, and then it decreased to 2,092.8, and it increased to 2,262.3. In March, it went from 2,244 all the way in 2020 to 1,311, and the decrease became worse, and it started to get better as we were going towards December, but it was still a major decrease, and therefore the total that year completely decreased to less than 10,000 million. Okay, so let's look at the questions. Write down the year that received the least income from accommodation. Give a possible reason. So they want least, which is least is the smallest, most is the biggest. So the least income, the year, remember they say the year, so it's either 2018, 2019, 2020. So they want the year, not the month, the year with the least income. So the smallest year would be this one, which belongs to 2020, and give a possible reason. You will remember that in 2020 there was a COVID pandemic and lockdowns, and therefore hotels and B&Bs couldn't take clients. So the answer there is on 1.1.1, it will 3.1.1. The answer is 2020, and the reason is due to COVID and lockdowns. To COVID and lockdowns, which led to lockdowns. All right, 3.2. Okay, so there's no 3.1. So 3.2 says calculate the value of C. Now, if you see C is there, remember these are totals for the year, and this is the entire year from January to December. So they added everything here, and we got the total. So what we can do is we say take the total minus everything we have, and we'll have C. So C is equal to, and let's start with the total, which is 25,285.1 And then we're going to minus January, February, March, April, and so on and so forth. And the answer will be 1,804.7 million rands. Okay, so arrange the income from accommodation for the year 2019 in descending order. Remember, D means decrease, and then ascending means increase. I will say decrease, descending, decrease, right? So we are going to arrange the 2019 year in ascending order. So let's first look which one is. What I can do is just go there in 2019. Okay, let's first fill in this one. It's 1804. Usually learners always forget to fill that in and they don't include it when they are doing the next question. So the smallest is going to start from the biggest and to the smallest. So the biggest number will be, these are all 2,000 and 1,000. So 2,000 and something would be the highest. 2,000. Let's see if there's 2,900. No, there isn't any 2,900. Let's see if there's 2008. No. 2,700. 2006. 2,500. 2,400. Okay, there's 2,400. So this one is the biggest. It'll be the first one. And then 2,300. Is there any other 2,400? No. The 964. I think that would be the next one. 10, 11, 12. All right, we're going to arrange it all like that, starting with the biggest number, which is 2,493.4. 2,493.4. And the next one, number 2, being 2,267.8. 2,300. Number 2. This one is number 3. Number 2 is 2,308.0. And then we have 2,267.8. Then we have the 12th one being 1,750.5 million. And that is arranged in descending order. Okay, so calculate the range for the year 2020. Okay, now first of all, what is range? Range we can calculate by saying, range is equal to highest value, maximum, minus lowest value, or say minimum. So range is our unknown, and the highest value in 2022 is 2,262.3. 2,262.3 minus the lowest value there being 33.8. And we get the answer 2228.5 million rands. Don't forget that part. Okay, so now 3.5 says the mean income for the year 2018 is more than double the mean income for 2020. Verify for 6 months. What they are saying here is they're talking about the mean, right? They say they know what the mean is for 2018. They know what the mean is for 2020, and now they're saying it is more than double, right? Okay, let's not worry about the more than double first. Let's find out what the mean is for 2018 and what the mean is for 2020, and then we will compare the two. That's the most important part right now, first step. Okay, for 2018, mean is equal to total data divided by total number of data. So I'm going to add all the numbers in 2018, which is 2,166.9 plus okay, I just realized something. I don't have to add them up. They're already added. They 24,846.4. So I'm just going to leave that and say 24,846.4 divided by, that is the total, which is the total of the data, divided by the number. There is 12. Remember, it's January 4, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So I actually counted them just to make sure they didn't skip a month there and try and trick us. So that's 12. And then we'll get the mean for 2018. So this is 2018, even for my convenience as well. Remember, it's million, right? Million rands. Okay, so I'm gonna assume that if I don't multiply it by a million, I can still compare the two. Okay, so the mean for 2020 is equal to, right, so the total on 2020, there it is, 9,818.5. So let's just use that and not calculate the whole thing again, divided by 12, and then I'm going to get the mean for 2020. I have the mean for 2018 and I have the mean for 2018. Mean is more. Okay, it's more, but they're not just saying it's more than double. So they're saying if you take this and multiply it by 2, the 2018 one will still be more than the, okay, so let's take the 2021 and double it. So if we double this number, which is the 2021, let's find out what the double of the 2020 is. 1636.41 6667 million rands. Okay, so if you look at this, so we've double of 2020. So if you take the 2018 one and you look at the 20, you can see that even though we've doubled the 2020, the 2018 is still more than the double. They didn't say it's more than the 2021. They said it's more than the double. So you found the double, and now we're going to compare the two by looking at the double of 2020 and looking at 2018. It's still more. This is 1,600. This is 2,000. So it's still more. Explain the trend in December's income from 2018 to 2020. What they're saying there is, what does when you look at December 2018, 2019, and 2020, what do you see? You can see it's slightly increased in 2019, and then it decreased dramatically in 2020. Right, so 3.7. Mention the months where the income in 2019 was less than 1,900,000,000. Okay, so now if you look at this 1 billion number and then you come to these numbers, they're not the same, right? The million is taken away. So we're going to do the same thing here. And we're going to change 1,900,000,000 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we're going to divide it by 1,000,000. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And it's 1,900 million. So let's do that. Let's first do that. Let's say 1,900,000,000 divided by 1,000,000 will give us 1,900 million. And now we're going to say, mention the months where the income in 2019 was less than 1 billion. Now we're going to go to 2019 and try and find the number that is less than 1,900. Not that one, not that one, not that one. 1,988. No, this one, which is May and June, and that one is bigger, that one is bigger, that one is bigger, that one is bigger. Those are bigger. So another way you can do this is by multiplying these numbers by 1,000,000, and they will suddenly look like this number, and then you can find which number is less than 1,900,000,000. I did the opposite. I changed this number to fit these numbers, and then I looked at which one's smallest. You can also change those to fit this number, and then look at the smallest. And that is the end of question 3. The whole of it, in fact, 20 marks. Just to complete there, for 3.7, the answer is May and June. May and June numbers are smaller than 1,900 million.